What if I told you that a 5-bedroom modern house does not have to cost a fortune, and the layout alone can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of your home? Most people building a 5-bedroom house in 2026 are making the same 3 layout mistakes that lead to wasted square footage, uncomfortable living, and massive construction overruns. In this video, I am going to walk you through a complete 5-bedroom modern house plan with a detailed layout concept that works for real families, real budgets, and real life. Stay with me until the end, because the section on the master suite and how it connects to the rest of the house will completely change how you think about bedroom placement. If this is your first time here, welcome to Affordable Homes and Plans. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video like this. New house plan content drops every week on this channel. Here is what almost every house plan video gets wrong. They show you beautiful renders, throw around square footage numbers, and completely skip the part that actually matters, which is how the rooms connect to each other, how the traffic flows through the house, and whether the layout actually works for a growing family. By the time this video is done, you will know exactly what a smart 5-bedroom modern layout looks like from the foundation up, and you will know what to watch out for before you spend a single dollar with a contractor. Understanding the 5-bedroom modern house concept. Before we get into the room-by-room breakdown, let us establish what we are actually building here. A modern house plan in 2026 is not just about aesthetics. It is about efficiency, livability, and sustainability working together in one design. The plan we are discussing today is a 2-story modern home sitting at approximately 3,400 to 3,800 square feet of living space. This size range is intentional. It is large enough to comfortably house a family of 6 or more, but disciplined enough that you are not paying to heat, cool, and maintain unnecessary space. In 2026, with energy costs and construction costs both running high, every square foot needs to earn its place. The exterior style follows what designers are calling refined contemporary, which means clean horizontal lines, a mix of materials including board and batten siding, brick or stone accents, and large fixed windows paired with aluminum-framed casement windows. Flat or low-slope roof lines are popular right now, but for this plan we are going with a slight pitched roof between 312 and 512 to manage water drainage in varying climates without adding significant roofing costs. The footprint of this house is designed to sit comfortably on a lot that is 60 feet wide and at least 100 feet deep. That fits standard suburban lots in most American, Canadian, and European markets as of 2026 without requiring custom engineering. One more thing before we move into the layout. Modern house plans in 2026 are being designed around 2 major trends. The first is flexible space, meaning rooms that can serve multiple purposes as the family grows or as remote work needs change. The second is indoor-outdoor connectivity, which means the layout intentionally blurs the line between interior living areas and exterior spaces like patios, decks, and gardens. Now here is the part most people overlook. The way you arrange those 5 bedrooms relative to the living areas on the ground floor will determine whether this house feels like a luxury retreat or a noisy, cramped box with too many doors. We are going to get into exactly that in the next section, and the answer is not what most people expect. Ground floor layout, in detail. Let us walk through the ground floor together, room by room, so you can actually picture yourself inside this house. You enter through a covered front porch that feeds into a wide foyer. The foyer is approximately 8 by 10 feet. It is not a throwaway space. It has a built-in coat closet on the left, and an open sightline straight through to the rear of the house. That sightline is intentional. When you walk into a home and you can see the back of the house, your brain immediately reads the space as large and welcoming. It is a psychological design trick that top architects use. Moving from the foyer, you have 2 paths. To your right is the formal living room or flex room, approximately 14 by 16 feet. In 2026, most families are converting this space into a home office, a music room, or a formal sitting room for guests. The walls are prepped for built-in shelving, and the room has its own direct access to the front of the house, which means it can double as a private office without disrupting the main household traffic. To your left as you enter is the ground floor bedroom. This is one of the most important design decisions in this entire plan. Having 1 bedroom on the ground floor means this house works for multi-generational living, for guests who cannot manage stairs, or for homeowners who may eventually age in place. It is approximately 12 by 13 feet with an attached full bathroom. That bathroom is positioned against the exterior wall to keep plumbing runs short and cost-effective. Moving deeper into the house, you arrive at the great room. This is the heart of the ground floor, and it is an open-concept space that combines the kitchen, dining area, and family living area. The total square footage of this combined space is approximately 680 to 720 square feet. The kitchen is anchored by a large island that runs parallel to the rear wall. The island is 4 feet by 9 feet, which gives you enough space for meal prep on one side and casual seating on the other. The kitchen uses an L-shaped layout with upper and lower cabinetry on 2 walls, a built-in pantry closet in the corner, and a window above the sink that looks out into the backyard. In 2026, smart appliance integration is standard in this tier of home. The plan accommodates a built-in refrigerator panel, a 36-inch range, and a concealed dishwasher. The dining area sits adjacent to the kitchen and comfortably seats 8 people. A sliding glass door or folding glass wall on the rear wall connects the dining area directly to the covered back patio. This is the indoor-outdoor feature we mentioned earlier, and it makes a dramatic difference in how the house feels during gatherings. The family room portion of the great room is oriented around a feature wall on the interior that carries a linear electric fireplace in the center, with floating shelves and panel molding on either side. This wall becomes the visual anchor for the entire ground floor. There is a powder room tucked between the great room and the garage entry, and a mud room or drop zone just inside the garage door that has built-in cubbies, hooks, and a bench. These 2 functional spaces are small, but they make daily life in a 5-bedroom house dramatically easier. The garage is a 2-car attached garage, approximately 22 by 24 feet, positioned on the left side of the house so it does not dominate the front elevation. Here is what I want you to hold in your head as we move upstairs. The ground floor of this plan has 1 bedroom, 1 full bathroom, 1 powder room, a flex room, and an open great room. That is a very intentional split. Everything private and everything for overnight rest is happening upstairs except for that 1 strategic ground floor bedroom. And the reason why we placed the staircase where we did on this plan is something most builders never explain to their clients. We are getting to that in the next section. Upper floor layout in detail. The staircase on this plan is positioned in the center of the house, accessible from the foyer without passing through the great room. This is critical. In homes where the staircase opens directly into the family room or kitchen, you lose privacy for everyone upstairs. YouTube, kids, guests, and teenagers have to walk through the main social space every time they go up or come down. Centering the stair keeps private zones truly private. At the top of the stairs, you land on a wide second-floor hallway. The hallway is not a narrow corridor. It is 5 feet wide with natural light from a window at the far end, and it serves as a mini landing hub with enough space for a small reading nook or built-in bookshelf without blocking traffic. Now let us go through the 4 upper floor bedrooms. Bedroom 2 is positioned at the front of the house, approximately 12 by 13 feet. It has a double closet and a window that looks out to the street. This room works well as a teen bedroom or a secondary guest room because it is the farthest from the master suite, which gives everyone acoustic separation. Bedroom 3 and Bedroom 4 are positioned on the middle section of the upper floor, flanking a shared Jack and Jill bathroom. Both rooms are approximately 11 by 12 feet. The Jack and Jill bathroom between them is accessed through private vanity areas in each bedroom, with a shared toilet and tub shower combo in the middle. In 2026, this configuration is being updated slightly. Instead of a basic shared tub, this plan uses a freestanding soaking tub and a separate walk-in shower in the shared wet zone, which elevates the feel of the bathroom significantly without a huge cost increase. Bedroom 5 is positioned at the opposite end of the hallway from Bedroom 2. This room is slightly larger at 12 by 14 feet and comes with a walk-in closet. This makes it flexible enough to serve as a second master bedroom for older children, an in-law suite, or a premium guest room. Now the master suite. This is the section I told you about at the beginning, and here is why placement matters so much. The master suite on this plan occupies the entire rear corner of the upper floor on the right side of the house. It is approximately 16 by 18 feet of bedroom space, which is generous but not wasteful. The reason it is positioned at the rear is so that it faces the backyard, giving the primary occupants a private view and keeping street noise on the opposite side of the house. The master suite has a dedicated sitting area by a large window. It connects through a short private corridor to the master closet, which is a true walk-in at approximately 9 by 10 feet with custom built-in shelving on 3 walls. From the closet, you enter directly into the master bathroom. The master bathroom is one of the most thoughtfully designed spaces in this entire plan. It has a double vanity with approximately 72 inches of counter space, a walk-in shower with frameless glass enclosure, a freestanding soaking tub positioned under a window for natural light, and a private water closet. The bathroom has heated tile floor rough-in included in the plan, which is a relatively low-cost upgrade during construction that becomes very expensive to add later. There is also a laundry room on the upper floor, positioned between the master suite and the shared bedrooms. Placing the laundry upstairs where most of the bedrooms are is one of those design decisions that changes daily life in a real way. In 2026, over 70% of new custom home plans are moving laundry to the upper floor for exactly this reason. Now, here is what ties the entire upper floor together, and what makes this plan different from every cookie-cutter 5-bedroom layout you will find on popular house plan websites. And we are going to cover that right now in the next section. Key design features that make this plan stand out there are 6 design features baked into this plan that elevate it beyond a standard 5-bedroom layout. The first is natural light zoning. Every bedroom on the upper floor has at least 2 windows positioned to capture morning or afternoon light depending on orientation. The great room on the ground floor uses a combination of high clerestory windows above the kitchen cabinets and large rear-facing glass to flood the space with daylight without compromising wall space for furniture. The second is acoustic separation. The plan uses staggered wall construction between the master suite and bedroom 5, which creates a small air gap between shared walls. This reduces sound transmission significantly without any exotic materials or major cost increases. It is a technique that custom home builders use, but rarely mention unless you specifically ask. The third is energy efficiency layout. In 2026, building codes in most American states and Canadian provinces require homes to meet updated energy performance standards. This plan responds to that by clustering all bathrooms and wet areas on a common plumbing wall stack, which minimizes hot water pipe runs and reduces energy loss. The floor plan also orients the garage on the north or west side depending on your site, which acts as a thermal buffer for the main living areas. The fourth is flexible bedroom sizing. Most 5-bedroom plans make all the secondary bedrooms identical. This plan deliberately varies the bedroom sizes between 11 by 12 feet and 12 by 14 feet so that different rooms serve different functions across the life of the family. A smaller room is fine for a toddler. The same room is a problem for a 17-year-old who needs a desk, a bed, a wardrobe, and some semblance of personal space. The fifth is storage distribution. This plan does not rely on one large storage room hidden in a basement. Instead, storage is distributed throughout the house. There is the ground floor coat closet, the mudroom built-ins, a linen closet on the upper floor hallway, walk-in closets in the master and bedroom 5, double closets in the remaining bedrooms, and attic access from the upper floor hallway for seasonal storage. The sixth feature is what designers in 2026 are calling the connection corridor, which is the way the master suite connects through the closet to the bathroom rather than opening directly into it. This creates a sense of arrival and luxury that is normally associated with high-end hotel design, but it costs very little to implement in the framing stage. There is one more thing about this plan that I have not mentioned yet, and it is the detail that makes the biggest difference when it comes to actual construction cost. We are covering that in the next section. Construction cost reality. In 2026, let us talk numbers honestly, because this channel is built on giving you accurate information, not inflated estimates designed to make the house sound cheaper than it is. In 2026, the national average cost to build a custom home in the United States sits between $150 and $250 per square foot for standard finishes, depending heavily on location. In high-cost markets like California, New York, or the Pacific Northwest, that number can climb to $300 per square foot or higher. In the South and Midwest, it often falls between $130 and $180 per square foot. For this 5-bedroom plan at 3,600 square feet of finished space, you are looking at a realistic construction cost range of $540,000 to $900,000 before land, depending on your region and the finish level you choose. Now here is the honest breakdown of where that money goes. Framing and structure typically represents about 15 to 20% of the total build cost. Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, which builders call MEP, represents another 15 to 20%. Exterior finishes including roofing, siding, and windows run approximately 10 to 15%. Interior finishes, which is where most of the visible upgrades happen, represent 20 to 30% of the total. Foundation and site work runs 8 to 12%, and the remainder covers permits, design fees, and contingency. The most important cost insight for this specific plan is that the 2-story format saves money on foundation and roofing compared to a single-story 5-bedroom plan of the same square footage. A 1-story 3,600 square foot house requires 3,600 square feet of foundation and 3,600 square feet of roof. A 2-story house splits that into approximately 1,800 square feet on each floor, cutting your foundation and roofing costs nearly in half. That saving alone can represent $40,000 to $70,000 depending on your market. The Jack and Jill bathroom shared between bedrooms 3 and 4 is another cost efficiency feature. Instead of plumbing 3 separate full bathrooms for 4 upper floor bedrooms, you share one between 2 rooms, reducing your bathroom count from 4 upstairs to 3, while maintaining functionality for every occupant. What most people do not ask about until it is too late is the hidden cost category. For a plan this size, you should budget an additional 10 to 15% on top of your construction estimate for site preparation, utility connections, driveway, landscaping, and the cost of furnishing 3,600 square feet of new construction. That is a real number that most house plan videos skip entirely, and ignoring it is how people end up living in a beautiful unfinished house with no furniture. Who this plan works best for this 5-bedroom modern house plan is not for everyone, and being honest about that will save you from building the wrong house. This plan works exceptionally well for families with 3 or more children who need individual bedroom space, privacy, and room to grow. It also works for multi-generational households, where a grandparent or adult child needs the ground floor bedroom with its own bathroom, separate from the main family activity. It is well suited for remote workers who need a dedicated home office on the ground floor flex room, separated from the sleeping areas upstairs. This plan is also a strong candidate for people building in suburban markets where 60-foot wide lots are common and who want a modern aesthetic without going into ultra-luxury custom territory. Where this plan may not be the right fit is for empty nesters or couples who do not need the additional bedroom count but want larger individual spaces. It may also require adjustment for very narrow urban lots under 50 feet wide, or for climates where a basement level is more practical than a second story. The good news is that this plan has several easy modification points. Bedroom 5 can be converted into a bonus room or home theater. The flex room on the ground floor can become a formal dining room if you prefer that layout. The rear covered patio can be enclosed to become a sunroom or a screened porch depending on your climate. That is the complete 5-bedroom modern house plan layout concept for 2026. We covered the ground floor layout in detail, the upper floor bedroom placement strategy, the 6 design features that separate this plan from standard layouts, the honest construction cost range, and who this plan is actually built for. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are trying to build smart. Drop a comment below and let me know what size home you are planning to build and which part of this layout stood out most to you. I read every comment on this channel. If you want to see more house plan breakdowns like this one, including layouts for smaller budgets, single-story options, and barn-dominium hybrids, there is a full playlist linked on this page, and I will drop a card on the screen right now. Subscribe if you have not already, because the next video is going to cover something that most home builders never think about until they are already pouring concrete. And by then, it is too late to fix without spending serious money. See you in the next one.